what are the most important things that a buyer needs to look at when buying a car and the numbers? Like, I don't know if you know what I mean, but for us as buyers, we never trust. We barely trust the sales guy. You know what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
always feel like there's numbers hidden in random places that we're not gonna see, and we're gonna get ourselves caught into a funny situation.
Yeah.
So, what are the right ways to address those issues, and what are ways that they can just to give value to the people that if you are buying a car, what are some tips maybe to get yourself a deal?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think it was always good to try to um, either deal with someone that you've heard of through friends or family that they've had good experiences with, right? Reward the people that are doing the right things in the industry. Secondly, if you don't have anyone like that, then you can go and do your research on Google the way that I did. You know, those speak for themselves. Reviews speak for themselves. And don't just look for 5-star reviews, but look at what people are saying. From the
Okay.
buyer, like look for the Google reviews, right? Look for the
Right.
Google reviews and see which stores are doing well, like which brand do you want first, and then find stores within that brand that have those Google reviews, raving fans. And if there's one salesperson that you see on there that is, getting a lot of reviews, they're obviously doing something well. So go to them. That's your first step because you want to deal with people that you can trust and that are already doing the right things in the industry. And you want to deal with people that are passionate about what they're doing because they're going to take their job seriously, right? Because their
Right.
brand means something to them. That's what I always used to tell people. Like, you don't want to deal with the guy that just got into it just to make a buck and then he's going to leave. He doesn't take it seriously. He comes in, 9 to 5. You want to go deal with people that are do this for a living because for them it matters. They're not going to screw you over because they want to be there for the long term. They want your referral business. So when you're dealing with someone like that, and that's the difference between dealing with a large organization versus a small mom and pop dealership, right? The mom and pop dealership
Right.
might skip out on some safety work. They might, whatever, because they want to make a quick buck. But the organizations that have been there, that are backed by, a large ownership group, for example, like they have a reputation to maintain. So they're always going to go the extra mile to make sure that you feel like you're taken care of because their plan is to be
Right.
there for a long time. And again, back to the main point, you don't develop longevity in business without making sure that your customers are satisfied. So that's
Right.
the first thing that I would say. The next thing that I would say is, look for transparency. So understand what questions you have to ask. And what I mean by that is, when you're being served numbers, um, I find this crazy, but at some dealerships, when you go and you're being served numbers, they're going to write it down on a piece of paper. Like, don't
Yeah.
take that for an answer. Tell them, I want to see a bill of sale. Like, show me the contract. How did you come up with these numbers? What fees are there? Like, read it line by line. Don't just sign blindly, right? Like, go and understand. And if you look at a bill of sale and you don't know how to comprehend it, then put it in front of your salesperson and say, can you walk me through this? Like, what am I reading here?
Right.
Like, what fees are these? What is the
Right.
fee in here for $500? Like, what is this fee for? And if the guy starts stumbling,
Right.
like, I don't know, then why are you paying that fee? Right?
Right.
So again, transparency is what you're looking for. And then do your research ultimately. Like if you, feel like there's anything as part of the process where you didn't feel like they were being honest with you or truthful with you, you've got options these days. You can
Right.
go to the other dealerships. You can go to the other
Right.
salespeople and you can ultimately, shop around and that's a buyer's right at the end of the day. Is it frustrating for a salesperson to get shopped? Yeah, it is. But, that's where it comes down to you got to do your best. Like you got to show
Right.
up, you got to show that person, you got to build value in yourself because ultimately they can buy that car from any Mercedes dealership in Ontario. Why would they buy it from you?
Right.
Separate yourself. Go the extra
Right.
mile. Build that trust with them,
Right.
build that relationship so they want to come back to you.
Right.
But,
Beautiful.
just a few tips for buyers. Do your research, try to work with individuals that are reputable and are only doing the right things. Ask for transparency and understand what you're reading, what you're signing, and how numbers have come up. And ultimately, you have the right to shop around if you feel like you're not being dealt with honestly.
Is there space for negotiation
There's
at
always space for
times?
negotiation in life. There's always space for negotiation,
Okay.
right?
And then
One point
you
here.
always
One
hear
point
like,
here for
okay,
the
yeah, go ahead.
viewers. You don't get in life what you deserve. You get in life what you negotiate. So
Right.
everything in life is negotiation.
Sure. And then you always hear these, like on social media and stuff. You always hear these guys, oh, the best time to buy a car is at the end of the month or end of the year, or these random things. So what's that like?
It's actually true. I can't lie, it's actually true. The reason why it's always the best time to buy a car at the end of the month, if you know what you're doing, is because at the end of the month, every single month, most dealerships are behind their target because that's just how salespeople work. At the start of the month, they're chilling. They have that hangover from pushing so hard at the end of last month. So the first week, first 10 days, first half of the month, they're kind of relaxed. And then the second half of the month, like, oh, I'm behind on my target. I got to go, go, go. So they're calling their customers like, yeah, come in. And they're behind their sales targets. So they'll actually like give you crazy deals just to get the deals done and get the numbers up,
Right.
right? So if
Right.
you know what you're doing and you know what you want, then yeah, you can actually leverage the fact that at the end of the month, dealerships are scrambling to hit their targets and you can actually get a better deal.